Good morning, and welcome to the Boulder Valley Unitarian Universalist Fellowship. Our topic this morning is growth, which seems like the perfect thing because everything is growing. It was so beautiful on the way here this morning. I'm Nicolette Toussaint. I'm your service associate today, pronouns she and her. And it's my honor to assist our grateful minister, the Reverend Barbara Koyman, this morning. Today's music is provided by Ted Koryath, our chamber choir, and with help from Julie Morris on the piano. Today's tech team is Paula Zimmerman, Kathy Partridge, and Deborah Mensch. Thank you. As I say the welcome words this morning, I invite those of you who are on Zoom to shift into gallery mode and scroll through the screens so you can see all the beautiful faces. Those in person, take a look around, see who's here. You get to chat them up a little bit later. Just appreciate them now. You are all welcome here today. In the beauty of languages, cultures, skin tones, shapes and sizes, gifts and challenges that come together in your uniqueness. You are welcome here. In all the ways you experience gender, you are welcome here. In the beauty that is who you love and how you love, you are welcome here. In all the ways you make your living and the places you are from, you're welcome here. With all the traditions that inform your spiritual life, you are welcome here today. No matter how long you are away, nor how soon you will return, you're welcome here. Whether you come with laughter in your heart or tears, you're welcome here. You are invited to join us with a curious mind, a loving heart, and a willing spirit. We welcome you today. We commit ourselves to being a center for spiritual exploration and justice-making, and to anti-racism and anti-oppression work within and beyond our congregation. If you're new here, we're glad you found us and hope that in this community, whether you're with us in person or virtually, you can experience the warmth and love of this congregation. Please come back a few times to really get to know us. What's happening this morning is not something that happens every morning. It's a new Monday, it's a new Member Sunday. And we have many opportunities during the week for social connection and spiritual growth. Those on Zoom can check out the links in the chat to help you get connected. And those who are here in person can stop by the welcome table in our foyer for fellowship information and our newcomer form. It's also in the QR code in the back of the hymnal. If you'd like to view a simple order of service for today's service on your phone, please scan the QR code that should be on the screens now. It is. Or click on the link in the Zoom chat. Everyone on Zoom is welcome to stay for casual conversation following the service. If you're here in person, do come to the coffee hour in the fellowship hall. If you're joining us on Zoom, please feel free to greet each other in the Zoom chat. And if you're a newcomer, let us know that so we can greet you. We'd love to know who's among us. Now, those of you in the sanctuary, please take a moment to greet your neighbor. Good morning to everyone. Good morning. Good morning. I'm Reverend Barbara, the grateful minister
of this congregation. My pronouns are she and her. In Unitarian Universalism, it is our tradition to light our chalice, the symbol of our faith. I invite you to join in the words for the chalice lighting as Nicole lights the chalice. We light this chalice Look to this day, for it is life, the very life of life. In its brief course lie all the verities and realities of your existence, the bliss of growth, the glory of action, the splendor of beauty. For yesterday is but a dream, and tomorrow is only a vision. But today, well lived, makes every yesterday a dream of happiness, and every tomorrow a vision of hope. Look well, therefore, to this day. Come, my friends, let us gather together this morning and be glad. And if you're not awake yet, our opening hymn is going to do that for you. Number 1000 in the teal hymnal. The words will be on the screen. Morning has come. Please rise in body or in spirit and sing lustily. Almost no choice.
Yeah.
Friends, it's time now for our ceremony to welcome new members. Distributed around the room, I trust, and what you received coming in through the entry door is a covenant of ceremony for the new member ceremony. I invite you to get out the text for that covenant. I trust they're distributed around the room so everyone can have access. Share with your neighbor. Maybe it's an opportunity to make a new friend this morning by sharing with your neighbor. Could the leaders of this ceremony please come to your places? The life of a religious community is filled with both small and great occasions. Because the core of this free congregational faith is its congregations and their members, among the most sacred events is the welcoming of new members, as we're doing right now. Will those who have completed the Path to Membership class and any children who wish to come with them and indicated your wish to become members of this congregation, please come forward to the places that we've designated up here. Welcome, new members. It is an honor to welcome you here to Boulder Valley Unitarian Universalist Fellowship, all of you of all ages. This is a ceremony of covenanting. A covenant is a promise. Membership invites you into several covenants. A covenant of challenge, because the membership process asks several commitments from members. Membership signifies that you support the purposes and programs of this fellowship, outlined in bylaws and in mission and covenant statements. Membership is also a covenant of hope. Here in this congregation, you can find acceptance, community, and friendship with this entire community. When life gets tough, you can draw inspiration from this community. If your expectations sour, you can find renewal here. If you grow cynical, you can be reminded about how deeds of fellow humans who have gone before you have made a difference. If you find yourself just plain frazzled, you can be renewed by having fun here at the fellowship, and this is a fun fellowship. Above all, you can draw from the deep well of love and respect that is the promise of this faith we all share together. Finally, membership asks each of you to covenant, to celebrate the best of this spiritual community. This congregation has already been enhanced by the presence of each of you members, just by being here this morning and in days leading up to your decision to join this congregation.
I'm Lucy Williams. I'm coordinator of the Path to Membership class that brought all these lovely people to us. In signing the membership book, which you will sign after this service in the fellowship hall, you are committing to your own spiritual growth and the growth of other members. Will you accept the challenge, the hope, and the promise that comes through your covenants with this congregation?
We will.
Louder.
We will.
Okay.
All right, you should all have the little sheet that she held up. I'm Robin Rathwig. I'm the president of the Board of Trustees, and I'm very pleased to be able to lead you in the next part of this welcoming. Members of this congregation, it's now your turn. Would first the members of this congregation please rise in body or spirit and read the covenant statement printed on the handout. And if you're on Zoom, it's posted in the Zoom chat. We welcome you, new members, into this community. We promise to walk with you as you experience the challenges and hopes in the shared ministry of this congregation. Now everyone, members and friends, stay risen in body and spirit, and read the covenant of membership. We covenant to build a religious community together that is guided by love, sustained by respectful relationships, and committed to action to make a better world. We celebrate this common purpose whenever we gather and do our best to abide by this covenant and to support this covenant.
How about one more round of applause for our new members?
We have a song we'd like to sing for you now. This is You Will Be Found. It's from the musical and also a movie, Dear Evan Hansen. And this song was requested by member Linda Thornton, who has since moved to Texas just, a month or so ago?
A week or two ago?
A week or two ago.
Quite
so
recently.
this was a request of hers. She won this song. Choose a song for the choir to sing at the auction. So this is what she chose, and it happens to be pretty appropriate for a Sunday like today. It's about. Well, it's a song sung to someone who's going through a really, really hard time, and the importance of community and gathering around and helping this person sort of see the light in themselves and in the world again. So this person's utterly lost, actually, at the beginning of this song, and maybe that sounds a little bit dramatic. And I don't want to imply new members that we know you're utterly lost right now. We'll help you find your way.
Maybe so.
But there have been moments where people have told me how the music that we do or the fellowship in general has gotten them through some really, really dark and difficult times. So it's true that this place sustains.
Yeah.
So that's what this song is about.
Have you ever felt like nobody was there? Have you ever felt forgotten in the middle of nowhere? Have you ever felt like you could disappear? Like you could fall and no one would hear? So let that lonely feeling wash away, 'cause maybe there's a reason to believe you'll be okay. 'Cause when you don't feel strong enough to stand, you can reach out your hand and know someone will come running, and I know they'll take you home. Even when the dark comes crashing through, when you need a friend to carry you, and when you're broken on the ground, you will be found. So let the sun come streaming in, 'cause you'll reach up and you'll rise again. Lift your head and look around. You will be found. You that you call out, you're a little less alone. If you only say the word, from across the silence, your voice is heard. Oh, someone will come running. Oh, to take you home. To take you home. Someone will come running to take you home. To take you home. To take you home. Even when the dark comes crashing through, when you need a friend to carry you, when you're broken on the ground, you will be found. So let the sun come streaming in, 'cause you'll reach up and you'll rise again. If you only look around, you will be found. You will be found. You will be found. You will be found. Out of the shadows, the morning is breaking, and all is new. All is new. It's filling up the empty, and suddenly I see that all is new. All is new. You are not alone. 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 You are not. You are not alone. Even when the dark comes crashing through, when you need someone to carry you, when you're broken on the ground, you will be found. So let the sun come streaming in, 'cause you'll reach up and you'll rise again. If you only look around, you will be found. Even when the dark comes crashing through, you will be found. When you need someone to carry you, you will be found. You will be found.
My friends, as we move into the pastoral portion of our service, let us come together in a spirit of meditation. Let us join in a moment dedicated to that quiet power within us. It is within us that we find the will to face the world. It is within that we find the love to embrace the world. It is within that we truly hear the needs of others. It is from within that authentic love and support for others with whom we share this journey called life emerges. This is the center of all religion, all love, all concern for others. And it is also the center of personal growth. As we come together in this community, in this centering time now, may this be a personal time for you. A time for that person within you who feels at one with humanity, with nature, and with all the universe that was, is, and shall be. So in the spirit of going deeper, let us come together in a few moments of silent meditation, joined through the silence to each one in this room as well as to our congregants online. Let us be together in some moments of silent meditation. Amen, and blessed be. I invite you either to continue your meditation or join in singing our pastoral hymn, Spirit of Life. The words will be on the screen, and it's number 123 in the hymnal. Amen, and blessed be.
Each week, we remind ourselves of the abundance of our lives and this community by giving half of our plate away to organizations that share our values. Our half plate this week goes to Sunflower Seeds, a nonprofit that works to raise awareness and resources for humanitarian efforts in Ukraine's defense of democracy. Since the onset of the war in February 2022, French partners have orchestrated 6 convoys, each transporting 22,000 pounds of critical supplies, food, hygiene items, and medical supplies. Because our congregation has been generous in donating half plates and individual donations, Sunflower Seeds and its partners recently bought 6 drone jammers to protect vehicles delivering supplies and evacuating the wounded from the front lines. Thanks to everyone who has supported this mission. You can text your donation to the number on the screen, or if you are here in the fellowship today, you can place an offering in the plate as it passes. Please give generously, as you so often do.
for the work and witness of this congregation and sunflower seeds. Your contributions are gratefully received. As the reading to prepare for the sermon this morning, I'd like to invite a responsive reading. If you wish to follow in the gray hymnal, it's number 568 in the gray hymnal. The words will also be on the screen. I will read the regular type. I invite you to join together in reading the italic type. This is a well-known verse by Marge Piercy. It's from the Seven of Pentacles. Connections are made slowly. Sometimes they grow underground. More than half a tree is spread out in the soil under your feet. Fight persistently as the creeper that brings down the tree. Gnaw in the dark and use the sun to make sugar. Live a life you can endure. Make love that is loving. Live as if you like yourself, and it may happen. This is how we are going to live for a time, not always. My friends, perhaps inspired by springtime flowering, I want to reflect on the theme of growth this morning. Nature's growth is all around us. Trees and flowers and bushes in new budding. Growth is evidence that we are alive. Evidence that any living system is taking in nourishment to replenish and expand. Growth is usually seen as a sign of health. I know we may not feel welcoming of unplanned growth in certain areas of our body, but that's not the kind of growth I'm thinking about. That type of growth I'll leave for you to work out with your personal trainer. I invite you to consider how many ways we measure and celebrate growth. How many kitchens include the place on the wall where we recorded the growth of our children? Or how often we hear about significant benchmarks in the Dow or the NASDAQ as an indicator of economic health, or the roller coaster reporting in this current world of Tariffgate. We will also watch the growth of flowers in our gardens, crops in fields. In religious organizations, such as in this congregation or in other nonprofit groups with benevolent values and missions, growth is an indicator of health and success. Growth might also have less positive overtones and implications. Most of us in this room probably regret growth of agendas or movements which run counter to liberal values, increasingly invasive as our country endures the second 100 days of new political leadership. Growth in governmental interference in women's rights to choose, for example, or growth of threats to the environment, growth of diseases in the absence of vaccines, growth of attacks on immigrant rights, and so much more. Thankfully, in congregational life, growth is a common and usually a positive topic. In these 10 months that I've been with you, I've heard conversations about growth in various contexts. Today, we celebrate evidence of growth with the addition of 8 new names to the roster of membership in this congregation. These new members represent growth in numbers as well as in perspective on congregational life and new relationships and new contributions to all types of stewardship. So today I invite everyone to examine your own relationships with and understandings of growth in this congregation. Now, if you're visiting today, perhaps you'll hear some ideas about growth to apply to life outside this fellowship. So, my friends, let me start by asking, when you think about growth in religious life, what do you think of? I expect most of us tend to think first about numbers. The number of folks attending worship, or children's classes, or social activities, or numbers appearing on membership rosters. Or perhaps you think first about numbers in the budget. Numerical growth is certainly important. In fact, it's vital to a congregation or to any organization. Growing numbers of people and dollars usually create more activities, more shared ministries. More people practicing the values of free religion is good for the world. Growth in numbers obviously is important and also fairly easy to measure. But for all its importance, in virtually all types of organizations, we can't make growth in numbers happen just by willing it. We can't just bring more people into a congregation and call that growth. Numerical growth of people, of budgets, of shared ministries is not in our control as much as we wish it were. Among folks who study church growth, and there are folks who make this their profession, yes, a standard explanation is from the consultant Lauren Mead, who wrote More Than Numbers, The Way Churches Grow. Mead has taught us that there's a lot more to growth than numbers. More important, numerical growth should not be a goal or a focus. Instead, growth in numbers is a consequence of at least 4 other types of growth, which not only should but must come first. Numerical growth happens through the grace of these other types of growth coming together. As we heard in the responsive reading, connections are made slowly. Sometimes they grow underground. You cannot always tell by looking what is happening. Perhaps you want to apply this wider view of growth to your personal lives as well, as you evaluate what types of expansion really matter. Perhaps growing the size of your bank account is not as important as growing the amount of time you spend with your children. Growing your power in the workplace is not as important as the number of lives you touch in everyday activities. Collecting friends on Facebook may not be as important as working to make a difference in the world. So for a few minutes, let me talk about 4 types of growth in congregational life, which stimulate growth in numbers. See if this approach makes sense to you. As I invite each type and explain it, I invite you to reflect on your personal involvement in each of these here in this congregation. These 4 types of growth support one another and support growth in numbers. And how a congregation prioritizes these types is closely related to how the congregation understands its mission and purpose, its reasons for being here, and its visions into the future. An intentional approach to growth is especially important during transitioning time. Now, some of you, I think, already have a one-page handout that was available there in the greeting area. So you may want to follow along some of the notes that are the summary offered by Lauren Mead about these 4 types of growth. If anybody else wants one of these handouts, speak to me afterwards. So the first type of growth, organic growth. Now these have some fancy names, so I'll try to invite the fancy name as well as some explanation. First, organic growth. Growth in systems and structures which are needed to sustain the activities a congregation wants to engage in. Organic growth. It means equipping leaders to respond to challenges and developing skills and talents in new ways. Organic growth means accepting changing roles of professional and lay leadership. One of the 5 focus points of interim ministry right now, which grounds this transitioning year. Clear understanding on everyone's part of just how things are supposed to function is critical for organic growth. Organic growth leads to better systems of organization. One of those 3 priorities last fall defined by your Board of Trustees for this transitioning time. And friends, I would suggest that in the course of an average week, I often devote a large percentage of my ministry time to developing organic growth in this congregation, especially to matters of staffing and personnel. Organic growth, it's central to a congregation which hopes not only to grow in numbers, but to go forward toward new ministry. So, organic growth, first type. Second type is referred to as maturational growth. It means growing in understanding the meaning of free faith and religious formation, and building a community which develops spiritual deepening. Understanding what it means to be religious, maturational growth. It also means how we grow in understanding social justice initiatives, how we grow in expanding diversity, equity, and inclusion, and more. Now, granted, we could engage in maturational growth individually through personal spiritual practice, such as meditation or reading, or, attending that church of the Blue Dome on a Sunday morning. Instead, you are here. Maturational growth is done much more effectively in community, especially in these challenging times when there's so many challenges to health and safety in the community. To support maturational growth, I especially encourage this congregation to create a more intentional adult faith development program, adult education development program, offering more reading groups, covenant groups, classes on UU identity, and more. And relatively new members, as well as visitors, I do invite you, however, to check out the schedule, which is already here. There are a lot of activities. This is an active congregation, and there can be more in maturational growth. So, organic growth, maturational growth. The third type of growth is referred to as incarnational growth. Let me explain. It means growth in the community, civic engagement, social action, hands-on work, protests. You can remember the meaning of incarnational growth because this word is often referred to in relation to the life of Jesus. Through his incarnation, Jesus became the real-life embodiment of divine love. Applied to Unitarian Universalism, incarnational growth means how we take our work and our values into the world, into our communities. Work in the world can happen through direct advocacy out there on the street, such as the many protests many of you have attended, and it can also happen through letter writing, donations, and online programs that affirm UU values. Organic, maturational, incarnational growth. The fourth type of growth is referred to on the handout as connections. We also call it denominational or associational growth. Connections invites us to expand involvement in the culture of Unitarian Universalism and other organizations with similar values. While commitment to this local congregation is important, we also grow through participating in cluster, regional, and national activities, which can help us understand, for example, why congregations pay annual dues to the denomination. Currently, many Unitarian Universalists are preparing for General Assembly in Baltimore in mid-June. I encourage you to consider attending if you've not yet given it some thought. There's still time to register for General Assembly, mid-June in Baltimore, Maryland, online and in person. So let's get back now to the traditional understanding of growth as defined by numbers. Does the type of growth look any different in light of these 4 other ways a congregation can grow? Can you see how growing in numbers is not what comes first? More numbers do not generate more growth, but the inverse. Other activities, other types of growth will generate more numbers. We can't will it to grow in numbers without the other 4 types of growth. I expect most everyone here considers growth in congregational life positive. My friends, what I do call you to be clear about is your desire to grow and to discern carefully what type of growth you hope for. The truth is, even as humans say we want to grow, often we resist that growth, perhaps in unconscious ways, because growth implies change. And change means we don't do things the way we've always done them. Duh. Right? I have reflected with you about change. Change is core to interim ministry. And among my responsibilities as interim minister is to suggest new mindsets for transitioning and growth, which the next minister will hope to see in place when they begin a new ministry here. So I invite you deeply discern, in any way, are you resistant to change? Are you resistant to any of these growths? So my friends, I continue to encourage your relationship with change, which leads to all types of growth. I hope my ministry with you is expanding notions of growth, especially as you position yourself toward your next professional clergy, who in turn will surely bring yet more new opportunities and change. Many types of change, many options for new growth. My friends, may you go forward well in discerning the many types of growth, which indicate that this congregation is indeed alive. May all this be so. And as we conclude our service through singing and thinking about where we are going, I invite us to rise in body or in spirit. It's number 1020 in the teal hymnal, Wo Ya Ya, which means we are going. Let's sing together about where we are going.
We
Friends, please remain risen in body or spirit as we extinguish our chalice by repeating the chalice extinguishing words, which will be on the screen in a moment. As Nicole extinguishes the chalice, let us join together. We extinguish this chalice,
but not the warmth of love, the light of truth, nor the energy of action. These we carry in our hearts until we meet again.
I invite you, as you wish, to reach out, touch the arm, the spirit, the soul of those in the room and those online with us this morning. For those of you who have come here seeking God, may God go with you. For those of you who have come here seeking life, may life return your affection. For those of you who have come here seeking a better way, may that way be found and the courage to take it step by step. When you leave here this morning, my friends, go in peace. When you return to this sacred space, return in love and in hope and in connections. Amen. Shalom. Salam. Namaste. Blessed be. I believe we have a few announcements. I invite you to resume your seats.
I know this is your favorite part of the morning. Good morning. My name is Sue Reddick. My pronouns are she and her. I am a member of the board, and I serve as treasurer. We have a couple of announcements this morning. The first is about summer BVUUF youth workshops. This summer, adults, teens, and elders in our community are invited to lead one-time workshops, that's one Sunday, with the young folks in our congregation. No experience working with kids is necessary. A staff member from the Children and Youth program will be there to support you every step of the way. These workshops run from June 1st through September 7th. Please, if you're interested and can help, contact Kitty Kalebarn, I believe that's how her last name is pronounced, for details. Second announcement, General Assembly service. We will have one this year. The General Assembly service will be on June 22nd, and church will start 1 hour earlier. That service, when you come to that service, you will experience the largest annual gathering of Unitarian Universalists in worship. As Boulder Valley UU will live stream the Sunday morning service of the Unitarian Universalist General Assembly in Baltimore. Our service will be led by Service Associates Scott Humans and Kelly. Oh, why did I get these names today? Thank you. Last announcement, lastly, Together Colorado is having its 2025 Boulder County Spring Assembly today from 2 to 4 at Christ the Servant Lutheran. This is at 506 Via Appia Way in Louisville. Small groups throughout Boulder County have been discussing how issues like housing, immigration, poverty, and climate change are impacting our lives. Today, they will take the next steps, strengthening our relationships, expanding collective power, and preparing to ensure our state's leaders, including the next governor, are committed to an agenda grounded in love, dignity, and justice. We have a question.
Can I make a really quick comment?
Yeah, sure.
Well, I put it in and maybe I didn't.
Okay.
Is it still on? Okay. I'm so sorry, guys. I just wanted to say really quickly, we are doing a Q&A with trans folks and their parents. If you have any questions about what it's like to be a parent of a trans kid or to be a trans person, after you celebrate the new members, and definitely go celebrate, come back in here to the sanctuary and join us. We'd love to have you.
Did you have some? We're okay. Okay, that's it. We're done.
Amen.